if you are planning on leasing out your house. So we've been meeting with a lot of people over the past few months where they're talking about selling their house, and they kind of realize the market's just not where it was when they maybe purchased. So for example, I was talking with a client earlier this week. She paid $750,000 for her condo. It's now worth, to be honest, quite a bit less, simply because a lot of the comparables are going for a lot less. I did speak with her about that. She bought it directly from the builder. And, she said, okay, Tony, to be perfectly honest, my number one priority was to sell the unit and perhaps get my money out. After I showed her what's going on in the market, she realized she's not going to get her money out. So then she asked me a question. She said, well, what if I just rent it out? Is that possible? And I said, yes, absolutely. But given the amount that she's paying in her mortgage compared to what she would get in rent, she would still be paying out of pocket for maybe a small portion of that still. It certainly wouldn't be cash flow positive, especially with condos and condo fees added on top of that. So basically she said to me, Tony, how can you vet the tenants that are looking at my unit? And it was a good question. So I said to her, here's what we can do when it comes to vetting the tenant. Number one is we'll always make them fill out a rental application. We'll review that application where it talks about where they're currently living, the reason for the move, how many people are going to be planning on occupying the property, as well as some income questions. On top of that, we would always get a job reference or pay stubs. Where are you currently working right now? We would review the pay stubs to see, are they fairly recent? How old are the pay stubs? Are they from last year? Because that really wouldn't help. We would need the most recent pay stubs. We would then call the employer just to confirm that this person is in fact still working there, that they've been there for an extended period of time, that they're not on probation, and that they have a job moving forward and that there's no end date to that job at this point. We would confirm that. And then of course we would run the credit check just to ensure that person where they stand in terms of their credit scores. And then at that point, once we have all of this information, we would then present that to the landlord and see if they're comfortable with what we've provided. And then at that point, we would even set up a meeting between the landlord and the tenant, so the landlord can meet the tenant face to face and just kind of get their own kind of feeling of each other. So anyways, that's a little bit of a background. If you choose to go down that path of renting out your home because maybe the mortgage payments are too high, or perhaps you just want to, you can't afford to sell right now because the market's just not caught up to where you need it to be to make it, something that you would consider doing as far as a sale goes. Anyways, just our 2 cents, just figured I'd share that with you guys.